So anyways, this is the Pip-Boy project so far, or Pip OS Mk 4000, whatever I end up calling it. So far, I've got most of the boot sequence down. I have the actual GUI running, um, and then I have stats tab. Not entirely done, but it's getting there. I have the AI done for the most part, minus like a few bugs and everything that I need to fix. It's mostly visual bugs. It's not really anything too crazy. Uh, so I've got that, and then I've got reminders set up. Uh, or reminders set up specifically for the AI. I still need to set up other reminders, such as like setting like a notes reminder or a personal medication reminder, things like that, or even an audio reminder where you can just record your own audio file and then it picks it up and plays it around that same time. Um, Things like that. So, anyways, here's the Pip-Boy project so far. Need to change up some of the colors a little bit. Some of them are a bit off. It's gonna work. There we go. So I had an issue in before with the GUI just not wanting to load at all, and I'm still trying to fix that. So far, boot and GUI are their own programs, and all boot's really doing is just reading information from the hardware, software, things like that, and it's basically doing a quick test run to see if everything's all there, if it's actually working. And if it's not, it'll tell you if it's bad or something like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much all it's doing in displaying the information. And then at the end of it, what it's waiting for, or what it's supposed to wait for, I still can't seem to get it functioning all the time, but sometimes it works. What it's doing is it's booting the GUI in the background and waiting until it's stable enough to actually run it, which is why the initializing part of the animation takes a bit. It's stuck on the first 2 frames, and then once it's ready, that's when it continues the rest of the animation. So on my screen, it's a lot more visible, and that might be because I have my brightness set up pretty high, but I added a faded generic CRT green background line, and that's not really for the program. It's more for visual's sake, just like a bunch of the other functions in here, like the scan line that's going down and everything. It's kind of meant to emphasize the bulginess of the CRT screen over TFT, or sorry, LCD display. So right now we're in stats, and what you're seeing right here, LA, RA, LL, RL, those are different limbs, and what it's reading is blood pressure on each limb. And it's not currently actually reading anything. This is just for display sake, and they're a little bit messed up. There's supposed to be a gap in between here showing, the fluctuation. But anyways, so what it's doing is reading, left arm blood pressure, right arm blood pressure, so on and so forth, and it's going to be reading it in real time. And depending on your blood pressure, what's not considered normal for you, what's considered normal for you, it will take that information, bring it down here, which is BPT, which is blood pressure total, and basically just combines all these into a simple little mathematical equation uh, combining it all in one, giving you a total, kind of like your generic HP. But none of that's functioning. It's all just display right now. Uh, and then we've also got our military time, and I'm gonna eventually change it to where when you go into settings, you can change it to a 12-hour system instead of a 20-hour system. And then eventually I want to make it to where you can change the date. But currently it's just reading real time and real date. So that's all stats is doing, and that's all this bar is doing right here. So now we're going to test our AI, and I swear to God, the visuals on this thing were the hardest part. It really sucked trying to get visuals to communicate with the AI program. So when we click enter on stats, and then we'll say, I have a pain in my stomach.
Analyzing your symptoms. Please hold still. Possible diagnosis: food poisoning. Primary symptoms: vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever. Recommended treatment: hydrate with clean fluids and electrolytes.
Anyways, so our AI has basically just taken what we said, and it's coming up with the three best diagnoses it can give you based on the symptoms. And you can give it more symptoms than just my stomach hurts, because it will search for more, but that's just something simple. And as you can see, it kind of seems like it goes from the least worst to the worst, and that's how I set it up, just kind of like how Google does. Because, I mean, you're not always experiencing fucking appendicitis or musculosis. You're not always experiencing those two. So it could be something as simple as like, oh, I've got food poisoning. Well, you can read out these, go through each one, scroll up and down. It'll ask you, are you experiencing any other symptoms? So we'll choose the first diagnosis round that best describes our symptoms. It'll ask us, are you experiencing other symptoms? You can tell it no if you're satisfied with the diagnosis you were given. But if you're not satisfied with it, you can tell it, yeah, I'm also experiencing this and that. And then it'll try to find what best symptoms match you with based off your old symptoms that you gave it and your new symptoms that you described. So we'll go ahead and click enter, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it no, just because I kind of want to run through this a little bit quicker.
Focusing on food poisoning. Are you experiencing any additional symptoms?
No, that'll be all.
Understood. Proceeding with the current information. Would you like me to remind you to take medication or get your condition later?
Alright, so we've told it no, and now it's asking us basically if we want to set up a reminder. And what the reminder does is, as I said before, it's basically going to give you a reminder every single day around whatever time you set it to, or whatever time you're currently on. So yeah, it'll do that, basically telling you, hey, this is what you told me you're experiencing, and I'm following you up on it. Here's what you need to do to take care of that. And you can tell it no. You can tell it no and just be like, no, I don't want any reminders. It's food poisoning. I can take care of myself. But if you do want to set up a reminder, you just hit yes.
Time for your reminder for example H00 AM and PM or 2000 MT.
So MT is military time. That was just something I shortened it to. I have no idea if that's actually what they use for it, but I figured it made the most sense. It was a 2-letter acronym or whatever. And then you've got AM and PM. And the AI basically tells you how to do all of that. So what we'll do first is scroll up to whatever time we want to use. Say I want to set it up for, let's go like 2 minutes from now. So I'll scroll up, get to, and actually what I'm about to show you is another one of the glitches. For some reason it transfers over the last number that you selected visually, but if you hit enter, it just goes back to 0. So yeah, that's something else I need to fix. So we'll do 2, and let's see, it is, oh, 2, and then let's see, so it's currently 58, we'll do 59. Oh, if I can find it. Let's, you know what, we'll do 2302 or something like that. So I'll just go ahead and skip through that, and it actually asks you in case if you messed up your time or if you're not satisfied with it. Oh, sorry. You just scroll through these two. It says confirm time, and if you hit no, resets it. Still has that glitch though. So we'll say 23. Oh, 02, and then we'll say that's military time. We'll say confirm.
Reminder set for 2302 MT. I will check on your condition and our session is complete for now. Goodbye.
So I'm having a bit of an issue with setting it up to where when your session's done, you just it exits the program automatically, or the UI. It's a stupid communication error that I've been having, but I just haven't bothered fixing it. So we'll just hit escape, and then we'll wait. Actually, while we're waiting, I'll try to give a brief rundown of some of the other stuff that's going on. So aside from our AI and our clock and our reminder, we've also got inventory. Inventory isn't complete. I need to set it up to where there's little subsections below it for different categories. But instead of using inventory like you would in the game, I decided to use it as a media folder. So you can store audio recordings, music, playlists, notes, books, games, movies. You can view all of that stuff. And it gives you the title above and everything. And I actually need to bring that title down a little bit. But as you can see, we get videos, audio, all of that. What's cool about the video part of inventory is that you can basically bring in an MP4 video, and the way that Pygame, or the I got Pygame to register video and actually play it properly is to essentially convert it into two different files. So one's an MP4 file with all the frames, and then one's an WAV file. And it takes both of those and it counts it as one video because they have the same title, just a different file format. So it displays as Fallout 1 Intro HD or something like that. But the cool thing is, you don't have to convert that. It automatically converts it for you. So there's no hassle trying to like figure out exactly how you're going to do it and stuff. It just automatically does it for you. And the reason I had to do it that way is because when playing an MP4 video on Pygame, the frame rate can actually kind of distort, or the time sequence isn't right, so it actually goes past the audio, or the audio might be playing at a normal rate while the video is playing like 3 times slower. It's a whole mess. So I basically had to take the MP4 video and time it to the audio, which is a whole clusterfuck. It doesn't feel worth it at all. But I mean, in the end though, I got what I wanted out of it. So Anyways, let's test the video, and I'll show you exactly what you'd be seeing if you were ever playing video on your Pip-Boy. So we've got the original Fallout 1 intro by Interplay playing on here. And at the bottom, you'll see 3 blocks. Oh, sorry. One is to skip back 30 seconds, the other is to skip forward 30 seconds, and the center is pause and unpause. So we have those functions, and I need to fix the highlight on them. I don't know why they refuse to work. But I guess that's just how it has to be. So let's try pausing the video, and we pause audio and the frame, and I'm not exactly seeing it on here, but usually when I'm pausing the video you can see it glitch a little bit, like it's stuck between 2 frames. That was completely by accident, but I actually love the look of it, so I didn't even bother fixing it. And then we can go to skip back 30 seconds. That takes us back 30 seconds. And let's try War Never Changes. But yeah, we can do that, and then we'll exit our program. I do want to try to save, or have a chapters list that saves, like say every 5-10 minutes in a video it saves a chapter, part of the conversion. So then there'll be like a chapter list on the side, and you can just scroll down and be like, oh well, I was last on chapter 10 or something like that, and that's like 100 minutes into a 3-hour film or something like that. So we've got that, and if you noticed, the audio is a little bit glitchy, or sort of staticky a little bit. It's actually even worse on just normal MP3 or WAV files, and that's something I need to fix. And there is a way to do it in Pygame, I just haven't actually gotten around to it. But we can go down to the Wanderer classic song. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit glitchy, kind of lags in some spots. And I'm not sure why it's not showing up. I may have forgotten to implement it. But if you noticed at the bottom, where the buttons would be for like pause, skip 30 seconds, go back 30 seconds, where it would be in video, there was only a pause button there, and for some reason, and I'm pretty sure it's because I just forgot to add it, but the skip 30 seconds and rewind 30 seconds function isn't in there, unfortunately. And the only button that is in there is the pause and unpause function, and I don't know what happened, but at some point when I was messing with the inventory tab code, it just did not want to pause the video. So pretty much all you have is being able to select the audio and then listen to it and then hit escape. So that's fun. And then we have games, and this is just a simple Pong demonstration I got ChatGPT to make. It doesn't really do anything crazy. It's actually not even a full Pong game. It pretty much just allows you to interact with the ball, but there is no points or anything, or missing the ball. It just bounces back and forth. And then the escape function is broken on it, I believe. So, play Pong. And I need to maybe fix this, make it a full-fledged game. But as you can see, tapping your arrow keys up and down, you can actually interact the game, or interact with the game. So we've got that. Let's see if I fixed escape on here. I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't remember. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so when we escape, it gets out of the game now. And there we are. There's our reminder. It's not formatted the best. I think I need to change a few things that are being done in here. Uh, like originally, I had food poisoning in bold, and then like symptoms and treatments, and then the rest of this was in a thinner text. Uh, but that doesn't seem to look very well on a smaller screen. So currently, this is what we have. Um, but yeah, so the reminder pops up. Uh, Sorry, it popped up a little bit later. I had to readjust the time for some reason. It wasn't wanting to work. Uh, so I had to go back and do it again. But yeah, so we can say okay to the reminder, and what that does is it'll catalog the date, like the day, the month, and the year that you had confirmed on when it last checked up on you. Uh, and OK just basically exits the notification and then keeps sending it to you the exact time every day. Uh, so it'll basically keep doing this every single day until I say I'm better. And I'm better just tells the AI or the program that, hey, I'm all good now. You don't have to send me any more reminders. So no more reminders to set or anything. Uh, and then later on, I need to change it to where after you say I'm all better, it records a history on you, a personal file or document that basically has a medical history of you, uh, both weight, height, blood pressure, all of that, the conditions around you, the symptoms you were experiencing, what you were diagnosed with, all of that. And the reason I'm doing that is so then that way you can print out the sheet of paper or the text file and then give it to like a doctor or something like that, and then they can look at it and be like, oh well, like a month ago he was experiencing a bleeding nose, and now he's got this other thing, or now he's got a really bad headache or something like that. So we'll go ahead and click I'm better, and that's that. That's the notification. The almost 90, or yeah, about it's about 95% complete, I'd say, or 96. But anyways, that's the program so far. I with all the other tabs, I had display visuals before. That's when I was making a very basic version of the Pip-Boy. It was so basic, and the file was not as complex. It was literally like in GUI, stats, the code, everything, tabs, AI. I was trying to implement it all into GUI, and I realized that was a huge mistake because the computer in Pygame could not handle all of that at once. And I don't even know why I tried going about it that way, because then you're not able to actually go into a tab and be like, oh well, I got to diagnose this part. Instead, you would have to go through so much code. It would have been like thousands and thousands of lines, and I want this to be a fully functioning real Pip-Boy. So that was a no-go. But with the rest of this, though, I think it's actually working pretty well, all things considered. Um, So yeah, I'm really excited about this project. There's really not much done. It's all these tabs are blank, but what I have gotten done so far though is has been really exciting, and a lot of it was thanks to ChatGPT helping me try to fix code and write certain parts I wasn't even sure how to write. Like I would have not been able to figure out. Well, I mean, I could have came up with a plan, but I just wouldn't know what code to use to create the transition effects between tabs and everything. That would have been way too complicated to do. And I know for a fact I'm going to have to use it with certain modules like the blood pressure monitors. That is something I have no idea how I'm going to translate all into one little system. So, hoping for the best of that. Uh, but yeah, that's the Pip AI or Pip-Boy and Pip AI so far. I'm really excited to get this OS done, have it complete, make it an actual official image file, and as I go along, I hope to share more progress and updates on all these other little tabs and functions and everything. So yeah, thanks for watching.